This video is taken in a much less exotic location than some of the previous episodes. We are diving the west and south coasts of the Big Island of Hawaii aboard the Kona Aggressor II. The Big Island offers some of Hawaii's most pristine diving. The Kona Aggressor is able to reach dive sites not visited by other divers. Kona is famous for its turtle population. The turtles have made a remarkable recovery since being placed under strict protection as an endangered species in the 1980s. This turtle is missing the front left limb. This could be the result of a shark attack or being tangled in fishing line. Sharks and debris in the water are the most serious threat to adult turtles. Turtles survive by browsing on algae and sponges. They can travel vast distances and spend their entire lives, except when laying eggs, in the sea. The turtles seen here are green sea turtles. There are several other species, but these are the most common.
Wahiki noia ehele anala me kaipo manuahi ana unoia honi ho'okahila kaipela o kau
Pufferfish are common reef dwellers. This is a trunkfish, identified by its squarish body. This is a Hawaiian white-spotted toby. The larger fish is a lantern toby. This is a spotted puffer. They are all poisonous to other fish and for human consumption. What initially looks like a rock turns out to be an octopus. They are masters of camouflage and can change their shape and color at will.
Ana unoia honi ho'okahila kaipela o kau haina ia mai ana kapuanala
I am not sure that this ringtail wrasse is aware of the octopus. Just above the octopus, we were visited by the Atlantis submarine. This is a passenger sub providing underwater viewing for local tourists. This bullet-head parrotfish is just one of many parrotfish species in Hawaii. They all eat coral, and their presence indicates a healthy coral population. They have sharp beaks, which can break off bits of coral which they digest. They excrete the coral skeleton as sand. Parrotfish can be hard to identify because they change patterns and colors throughout their lives.
Hanu hanu mo o kapu I ka e hukai Te tua motu motu a o heia Me ka ua a pua kea Ka la ia o marulani Me ke ane o ke koula Hanu hanu mo o kapu I ka e hukai Te tua motu motu a o heia Me ka ua
This is not a parrotfish, but a juvenile ringtail wrasse. The adult version was seen with the octopus earlier. These are peacock groupers. They are predators of small fish. Although most groupers are fine to eat, these in Hawaii frequently have cigatura poisoning and are not fished for. This is a dwarf moray eel. Most eels are found within caves or rock crevices. These are grass eels. They are very shy and burrow themselves into the sand rather than live in rock crevices. They are generally found in bunches like this group. This is a white-mouthed moray. The opening of the mouth is not meant to be threatening. It is the way that they force water through their gills. They will not attack, but do have a ferocious bite if provoked. This is a yellow margin moray, one of the larger and more common morays found in Hawaii. The morays are all predators. They seldom venture from the safety of their rocks during the day, but can be seen free swimming after dusk. Beke ane o ke kola Haina ia mai ana ka huana Ua ka uila e ka neo he A me ka ua pua kea Alania umaulani Beke ane o ke kola Wrasses are another fish that changes its coloration entirely during their lifespan. This is a juvenile that will later be multicolored with blues, reds, and yellows. Here is an adult. Moorish idols are primarily sponge eaters. Doing so makes them taste bad, so predators generally avoid them. When talking about camouflage as both a defense and a mechanism for predation, the frogfish is the master. These fish are frequently overlooked because they appear to be a sponge or a rock. They can be almost any color and usually blend in with their surroundings. When not being harassed by photographers, they have an appendage that looks like a worm which they dangle in front of their mouth. When a small fish takes the bait, the frogfish feeds. Kona coast is riddled with rock and lava tubes, providing shelter for fish and interesting swim-throughs. It takes a quick eye to see this blenny dive into the sand. Hermit crabs inhabit empty shells and whatever else they can find to act as additional mobile protection. The reefs are full of the beautiful butterfly fish like this ornate butterfly. They are all primarily coral feeders. The coronet fish is a slimmer cousin of the more common trumpet fish. They are all predators using lightning speed to capture small fish. Kona, as are all tropical waters, is blessed with nudibranchs. These are algae-eating and generally somewhat toxic to predators. There are hundreds of species. They reproduce by laying these lace-like ribbons of eggs. Unicorn fish are a relative of the tangs of surgeonfish. They are obviously named for the horn protruding from the head. There are several variations. Squirrelfish and soldierfishes are related species that are common on the reefs. They are called squirrelfish if they have stripes and soldierfish if solid. They are predators and frequently active at night while seeking shelter during the day. schools of blue-striped snappers can be seen just off the reefs. Trumpetfish are always interesting to divers as they are very easy to approach. They are daytime predators that use their agility in the water to hover and search for prey. Although they generally move slowly, they can strike at lightning speed. They can be either gray or yellow. Lizardfish are named for looking like lizards as they are frequently found on the bottom. Tangs, like this common yellow tang, and triggerfishes, like this pink-tailed triggerfish, are seen everywhere. The tangs are algae eaters, while the triggerfish are carnivores, eating mostly small crustaceans. This is another example of a wrasse that dramatically changes colors. This is a juvenile rock mover wrasse. These are also called dragon wrasse. The full adult form follows. This is the Picasso triggerfish, also known as the Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apu A'a. This is the state fish of Hawaii. Coral comes in many forms. This shelf coral serves as shelter for a large number of fish. The orange band triggerfish often join together in large groups to feed. However, they don't always stay together like other schooling fish. This is a tilefish, so skittish that photography is difficult. They live in burrows in the sand. There were only a few barracudas seen, and almost always at a distance. They certainly weren't threatening. Angelfish are not common in Hawaii. This banded angelfish was an exception. If you look closely, just a little to the right of mid-screen, you will see a wire coral goby. Hawkfish inhabit a number of the corals. These are black-side hawkfish. Here we have a pair of arc-eye hawkfish. All hawkfish are patient predators. One evening we were greeted by a school of dolphins, which stayed around the boat long enough for us to get in the water and swim with them. While curious, they still kept a respectable distance. The clicking you hear behind the breathing is the dolphins communicating. These Pacific bottlenose dolphins are not rare to be seen in Hawaiian waters. Folks who watch these videos often ask me about the liveaboard dive experience. Every boat is a little different, but there are more similarities than differences. The top deck is usually a more or less open area, frequently with a grill and a bar area. There is an enclosed dining area with a full galley, and the food is almost always delicious and plentiful. The inside is usually a place to relax and read or watch videos. The rooms are usually fairly tight, but equipped with a bathroom and all the facilities necessary to stay. The main portion of the boat is of course the dive deck. This is generally where photo equipment and the dive gear is held. Before every dive there's a briefing as to the topography and the profile of the upcoming dive. We will hear about what can be expected to be seen and the conditions such as current and depth that we will be expected to encounter. This is also the time that everybody prepares for the dive ahead. Then it is time to dive. In most cases, it is just a few short steps to the dive platform, or there are chase boats to be boarded to make the dive. Final adjustment to the equipment is made and the dive begins. Camera equipment is handed down and away we go.
E o e ka heke
Back in the water, we see a bluefin trevally. These are the prime sports fish for Hawaiian shore fishing. Some species can grow to over 100 pounds. One of the dangers of diving in Hawaii is the preponderance of spiny sea urchins. These are not toxic, but their spines are extremely sharp and once embedded in the skin, frequently cause pain and infection. There are a number of shrimp and spiny lobsters in these waters. This coral shrimp is well able to defend itself with its large claws. This long-nosed butterfly fish demonstrates the adaptations that are present to allow these fish to survive. This fish has the ability to swim upside down, searching for food in the crevices in the reef. The biggest attraction to divers in Kona is the large number of manta rays which inhabit the waters off the coast. These giant members of the shark family are completely harmless. They feed exclusively on plankton which they gather through filtration. They are not particularly shy. During the day they are generally seen swimming singly. They can reach a span of up to 20 feet and a weight of 3,000 pounds. Seeing a single manta ray during the day is certainly a thrill. However, the biggest thrill is seeing dozens gathered at night in this organized dive near the Kona airport. When the conditions are right, with plenty of plankton in the water, divers will congregate with plankton-attracting lights which bring in the mantis to feed. The sight of this feeding is nothing other than spectacular. The mantis are extremely acrobatic and will come back time and time again, much to the enjoyment of the divers. The reefs off the shore of the Big Island of Hawaii are relatively healthy. There is no substantial industry and pollution is minimal. There are hazards to the reef like these crown-of-thorn sea stars which eat coral and can devastate a coral reef. Their only natural predator is the Triton trumpet, a relatively rare large mollusk which is most frequently seen as a shell souvenir in a tourist shop. The diversity of the fish seen in Hawaii, like this Potter's angelfish and this bird wrasse, show that Kona's reef is alive and well as of today.
Wind and mountain, caressing rain.
We bid farewell to Kona. We were pleased with the excellent diving in these local waters. We thank the crew of the Kona Aggressor II for a most enjoyable trip.
Walohia wale e kane o alani